Hi, welcome back to Park and Post. Today, I am excited to share with you outfits that I recommend for your next trip. In this video, I will provide tips on what to and not to wear on the airplane. I will also suggest packing some of them in your carry-on bags.
These travel outfits will help minimize stress at the airport and inside the airplane.
As you watch this video, think about the pieces in your closet that would be better suited for your carry-on bags. Let's start first with high-heel shoes. While high heels may look stylish and glamorous, they are not practical for traveling, especially on an airplane. They are uncomfortable, and the last thing you want is to be walking through the airport or sitting on a plane with your feet in pain.
Additionally, high heels are not ideal for navigating through security and boarding gates.
I remember one time my sister wore high heels on a flight, and her feet were so swollen by the time we landed that she could hardly walk. Ever since then, she have avoided wearing high heels while traveling. One other thing to keep in mind when you're packing your carry-on bag is to include some comfortable footwear. It's always a good idea to wear shoes that you can easily slip on and off during the flight. This is especially important if you have to take them off. During the security screening process, you don't want to be fumbling with laces or buckles while you're trying to get through the line.
Slip-on shoes or sandals are great options for this.
Tight clothing is another type of outfit that I avoid wearing on airplanes. Wearing tight clothing can cause poor circulation, making it difficult to move around and making you feel uncomfortable. It can also be a hassle when you need to use the restroom on the plane, as you may have to struggle to remove your clothing. I once wore a tight pair of jeans on a long-haul flight, and it was a terrible experience. My legs felt numb, and I had a hard time moving around the planet.
After that experience, I made sure to wear comfortable and loose-fitting clothing while traveling.
Clothes made from heavy fabrics such as wool or leather are not ideal for airplane travel. These materials are not breathable, which can cause you to feel hot and uncomfortable during your flight. Additionally, heavy fabrics are usually bulky and take up a lot of space in your luggage. I once wore a wool sweater on a flight, and I regretted it as soon as I boarded the airplane. The flight was warm, and I felt like I was suffocating in the sweater. Since then, I have opted for lightweight and breathable fabrics when traveling. Shoes that are difficult to take on and off are not ideal for airplane travel. It can be a hassle to have to remove your shoes during security checks.
And complicated shoes can also be uncomfortable to wear during long flights.
I remember my daughter was wearing a pair of lace-up boots on a flight once, and it was a frustrating experience to have her keep lacing and unlacing them. Now, she knows better by choosing slip-on shoes or sandals for easy on and off during security checks. Okay, let's talk a little about wearing expensive jewelry.
While it may be tempting to wear your favorite jewelry while traveling,
it is not a good idea to wear expensive or sentimental pieces on an airplane.
Jewelry can get lost or stolen during travel, and it's not worth the risk.
My wife once wore a valuable necklace given to her by her dead grandmother on a flight, and spent the entire journey anxious and worrying about losing it. Since then, she have left her expensive jewelry at home while traveling. If you like to wear tight hats, wearing a tight hat on an airplane can be uncomfortable and may even cause a headache. The cabin pressure on an airplane can cause changes in your body, and wearing a hat that is too tight can exacerbate these changes. Wearing a tight hat on a long flight can give you a headache that can last for hours. Do yourself a favor and opt for a loose-fitting hat or no hat at all when traveling. Try not to carry heavy backpacks. Carrying a heavy backpack around the airport
and on a plane can be tiring and uncomfortable.
It can also take up valuable space in the overhead compartment or under the seat in front of you. I remember carrying a heavy backpack on a flight to Montana,
and it made the journey so much more stressful. Since then, I've opted for a smaller, lighter backpack
or a shoulder bag for easy travel.
Before we proceed further, I hope these tips help you have a comfortable and stress-free travel experience.
If you're new to our channel, please subscribe and click the bell to be notified of our latest travel tips. But let's get back to the topic of what to avoid wearing on a plane. I want to talk again about why it is important not to wear tight or restrictive clothing on long flights. It's always tempting to dress up in your favorite pair of jeans.
or a tight dress while traveling, but it's best to avoid tight or restrictive clothing on long flights.
They can restrict blood flow and cause discomfort, especially during long periods of sitting. Opt for loose-fitting clothing like leggings, joggers, or loose-fitting pants, paired with a comfortable t-shirt or hoodie. I learned this the hard way on a 13-hour flight, where I wore skinny jeans and a tight shirt, and by the end of the flight, my legs were swollen and my back was in pain. Never wear new or uncomfortable shoes. It's never a good idea to wear new or uncomfortable shoes on a long flight. Your feet will be in for a long haul, and if they're not comfortable, you'll be in for a miserable flight. Choose shoes that are comfortable and easy to slip on and off for security checks and when you want to stretch your legs. My son made this mistake once, and he ended up with blisters on his feet and a painful walk for days after the flight. Be cautious of overly casual clothing.
While comfort is key when traveling,
You also want to make sure you don't look too casual. You never know who you might meet on your flight, and it's always better to be slightly overdressed than underdressed.
Avoid clothing with holes or stains, ripped jeans,
Or graphic t-shirts with inappropriate images or slogans.
During our last family reunion, I wore a pair of old sweatpants on a flight.
And I was embarrassed when I ran into a venture capitalist for one of my partners at LAX airport. Lesson learned.
It's always better to err on the side of caution when it comes to dress.
Please do your best to avoid heavy or bulky clothing. It's best to avoid wearing heavy or bulky clothing on a long flight. While it might seem like a good idea to wear a thick sweater or jacket to stay warm, you'll likely find yourself overheating once you get on the plane. Additionally, bulky clothing can take up valuable space in your carry-on luggage, making it harder to pack everything you need. Opt for layers instead, like a lightweight jacket or cardigan, that you can easily take on and off as needed. The next thing I want to talk about is mini skirts. Mini skirts may be trendy, but they are not practical for airplane travel. Not only can they be uncomfortable during long flights,
But they also make it difficult to get comfortable in your seat without feeling exposed.
avoid wearing clothes with offensive graphics or slogans that could potentially offend other passengers. Revealing clothing such as crop tops or short shorts may be fashionable and comfortable in warm weather, but they are not appropriate for airplane travel,
They can make you feel too exposed and uncomfortable.
and they may also offend other passengers. It's better to choose modest and comfortable clothing that allows you to relax during your flight. How about those strongly scented perfume? While wearing perfume may make you smell good, it can also be an annoyance for other passengers.
Who may be allergic or sensitive to strong scents.
Additionally, the confined space of an airplane can make the fragrance overpowering, causing headaches or nausea. It's better to skip the perfume or wear a light, subtle fragrance. One piece to avoid wearing on the airplane is a long cardigan, also known as a duster, as it can brush against things in the boarding area and bathroom, and the ties can be unsanitary. Save those long cardigans for your vacation spot. Also, avoid wearing white clothing as it can get stained easily with food or scuffed from luggage. If you have to take off your shoes in the TSA line, I recommend wearing an old pair of socks on top of your regular socks, or using cheap insoles in your shoes to create a barrier. Now, let's talk about some of the travel outfits.
That you should always consider packing in your carry-on bag.
First off, you can't go wrong with a pair of comfortable leggings or joggers.
These are perfect for long flights because they're soft, stretchy, and won't restrict your movements.
Pair them with a loose-fitting t-shirt or sweater, and you've got a comfy yet stylish travel outfit. Another great option is a maxi dress or jumpsuit.
These are perfect for warmer weather or if you're going on a beach vacation.
They're also great because they're easy to dress up or down, depending on the occasion. Plus, they're loose-fitting and won't restrict your movements during the flight. For cooler weather, you can't go wrong with a cozy sweater and a pair of jeans or leggings.
This is a classic travel outfit that's both comfortable and stylish.
Just make sure to avoid wearing any light-colored or white clothing, as I mentioned earlier. And finally, don't forget to pack a lightweight scarf or shawl.
This is a great accessory that can be used in a variety of ways during your travel.
You can use it as a blanket during the flight,
As a cover-up at the beach?
or as a fashion accessory to dress up your travel outfits. So those are our tips on what not to wear on a plane and some travel outfit ideas to consider packing in your carry-on bag. Remember to prioritize comfort and avoid anything that might restrict your movements.
Or cause discomfort during the flight?
With these tips, you'll be able to breeze through the airport and enjoy a comfortable and stylish travel experience. Are you looking for a great deal on your next vacation? Our Flight Finder tool can help you compare prices from different providers to any destination. Plus, if you book online today, you can get an exclusive discount on your next flight. Don't miss this chance to get a great deal on your next flight.
Click the link below this video to get an exclusive discount while it lasts.